So basically, my name is Deprina. I currently work at Condé Nast as an associate producer of branded health videos. But I'm also a social media manager for a basically a financial, basically a woman who owns her own business online, where she creates financial courses and resources so people can learn how to invest in the stock market. So I'm a social media manager for her, video editor, booker. She don't know social media. She don't know the technology. So I call myself her technology trainer too. Facebook group, you know, the community manager for all her Facebook groups. And of course, podcasting too. So I basically use all my skills that I know, that I learned in undergrad and grad school, everything I know, I basically use it to make money. So today, my presentation is basically going to be on that, you know, because when you graduate from whatever program you're in, if you're in a master's program, if you're just out here in the world, people always think that, you know, you got to hurry up and work for somebody else, but you paid all the money at Syracuse to be able to create all those skills into some type of business for yourself, because it's so many people in this world that don't know how to do anything that you know how to do. And I'm starting to find that out, because I can't even find, I want to quit my job, but I can't even find nobody to do it for me. So you want to be in a place like that where you have so many skills that people want to work with you, they love working with you, and you know, they need you. So this whole presentation today is basically going to be how you can use your post-production skills and your producing skills, everything that you basically learn in this program to kind of, you know, do some social media, whether that's in between jobs or it's a second job, some multiple streams of income, one of those type of things. So I'm gonna just kind of go over my presentation. Sometimes I talk too fast and a lot, but I'm trying not to do that today. But I'm gonna leave a lot of room for questions, because it is a lot of people in here. So any questions that you have, we're gonna leave them at the end, and then I'll answer everything to the best of my ability. So today, I'm basically gonna show you everything that I know based on what I do. So I'm gonna just go ahead and share my presentation with you. And of course, I'm gonna give you guys a lot of examples of stuff too, so. Okay, everybody see the screen? Okay, now I just wanna put a little, you know, note at the bottom. I'm not a post-production person per se. Like, I can't animate, I can't do all those amazing things that a lot of you all can do. I usually Google it before somebody asks me to do it, and I just, you know, figure it out. And you can do this too. So I'm just telling you everything that I know. I want you all to take notes, because you can always do further research for something that could work for you. And I know a lot of y'all know way more post skills than me. You know, I was just an assistant. So let's get this presentation started. Okay. Let's see, hold on. Okay, so what post-production skills can be used for social media? In my opinion, basically everything that you know, everything that you've taught, whether it was self-taught or you had to learn in a class, you can use it for social media. And you can create that as a social media production job, a social media marketing, even social media consultant. And even the other skills that you know, you can just put consultant behind it and consult with other people or teach other people it. And then that could be your skill that you can make money off of. So if you're an animator, MoGraph, all your editing skills with video or audio, casting, believe it or not, casting can relate to social media, because you got to think about, you know, when you come up with video ideas, right? You got to think about who you're going to put in those videos. What's the characters going to be in that video? And a lot of brands, like let's say if you're working for a health brand, or if you're working for a foodie page, It's so many pages. I know y'all be on Instagram like I be. It's so many different businesses online. You are going to need that casting to kind of figure out who can you find to represent this person's business and help them create some content around that, around that person. Creative production. So social media gives you a chance to tell stories, put together stories and ideas, whether it's a serious storyline or whether it's some type of animation character. Believe it or not, there is a lot of people online that are scared to show their faces. So if you are somebody that's good with creating your own characters or creating some type of, person where all they have to do is use their voice, that will be somebody will love you for that, because people have a lot of anxiety about being in front of camera. Even when they only got 2 followers, somehow, some way, they think 1 million people are seeing them online. So you could use your creative production, short scripts. Again, you all know Instagram, Facebook Watch, those short stories, 8-minute, 15, 20, 30-minute scripts. And if you're working for some business that maybe want to start a show, right? And they want to do their show for IGTV weekly, then there you go with your short scripts. Being able to write out an outline, right? Being able to figure out if they're going to do a show where they're going to have guests on the show. All this relates to everything you're learning right now. And then those people who know how to do the coloring. Because some people, again, everybody, I would say, just my opinion, probably 90% of the people online is using a cell phone. So they don't know nothing about good lighting and they don't know anything about coloring. And then you can be that resource for them. You basically can share anything online. I consider everything you do content. Even when you can create content from one thing, you can make it 5 things. I always tell people, if somebody make a video, you could take that video, make it a quote, right? Pull a quote from it. You can make an audiogram from it, right? So you could just have it where the words are pushing up on the screen. You can create like a whole nother like slider, like top 5 makeup brands, because that's what you talked about in that video. It's so many pieces of content that you can get just from one individual piece of content. So content creation ideas. So again, this is a little bit what I've already said, but these are your different platforms that you can, use your skills for. So you got YouTube, so many people want to start a YouTube video and they have no idea how to edit a video. Even though we know it's simple as cut in the beginning, cut out, jump cuts and all the other stuff. A lot of people really just don't grasp the concept of editing videos. It's too many layers and it's confusing for them. So you could do a video editor. Some people are trying to start a YouTube series. They might be a good storyteller, but they're not a good video editor. Or maybe they don't know. They might need some consulting with how to hold a camera. I've done that before. I've literally got on Zoom with somebody and had to tell them how to hold their camera just to make an exercise video, because she was trying to make trampoline videos and had no idea what she was doing. So that can even be something that you can do over Zoom virtually, where you can just consult with somebody, and make up a price, what you want to charge them for an hour. Animations, so many animations channels on YouTube, and this type of stuff can always translate later for when somebody's like, oh, you haven't had a job in over a year? No, but I have this full animation series that I've been doing on YouTube, and bam, you got your portfolio right there. Because as long as you consistently are working, even though it's not for somebody, you are consistently working, you're getting better at your craft. You're getting better at your animations, better at your editing, better at everything. So the real main point of all of this is, if you are in between jobs, you want to use all your skills to do these things that I'm talking about tonight. So Instagram, you got your reels, graphic design, if you're good with coloring and words, putting pictures together. A lot of people make IGTV series, all this stuff. Everything that you see listed on here is really, even for some of the music students. If you create music and you're trying to get your music out there, bam. So many people want unique music for their YouTube channels, unique music for any of their shows that they're doing. They don't want music that everybody and their mama be using. They want something different and unique. So if you create music, you can create your own music and kind of like create a way where you can license it to people or companies and tell them they could use it for XYZ price. The audiograms and voiceovers. Again, this is another good thing for practice. You can do voiceovers for videos. You can consult with other people, tell them, look, I just need you to say this and I'm gonna make an animation that's gonna match it. Like that's a skill, like everybody can't do that. And so basically the other ones at the bottom, these are some things I recently started to do that I've seen in a lot of my Facebook groups. A lot of my social media Facebook groups, a lot of their employers are starting to ask them to do, especially when we got into this whole pandemic, everybody pivoted and tried to figure out ways they can work from home. So I've been a Clubhouse moderator, and basically you can get paid now on Clubhouse. They just recently started this, but people can pay you anywhere from $100 to $200, depending on the company or whatever the case may be, to moderate their Clubhouse, because you need to know how to put people on mute or kick them out the room or stuff like that. Facebook group moderator. Now, this is a really big one. Right now, I am a Facebook group community, they call it community manager for 3 Facebook groups. And what it is people create businesses, and if they create a course, they kind of throw everybody into these groups and say, okay, this is a private group for your new fitness program, and you're going to do this fitness program, and this group is just for y'all. But they need somebody to be over that group. They need somebody to kind of kick out the spam. They need somebody to post every day, take surveys, make sure you keep the group active. And a lot of times, I'm gonna say 90% of the time, people are paying to be in these groups, right? They're private groups. Like I said, I think in the past I've said it, but I'm just saying for all the new people. The lady I work for, she got 3 groups. One is free. One people pay $400 a month for, and the other one people pay $1,000 a month for coaching programs. And so everybody now is literally turning the information that they know into courses and coaching programs, and they need people to moderate their Facebook groups. Live production. Again, this is another one I've recently done, live production. And with StreamYard, again, because a lot of people, we're doing all this virtual thing. So live production with StreamYard is something I've been doing a lot lately. The lady I work for, she actually does a show every Wednesday where you actually can have other people kind of come in through the live video. It's a whole separate program. It's better than using Zoom. And then you can have people's comments go across the screen. It's awesome. So if you write these notes down, you screenshot this, you can literally do quick little YouTube searches or Google searches on this stuff that I'm talking about. They even, StreamYard, I just did last week, did a free training teaching people a little bit about it. So before I go to the next slide, I'm just look at some of the questions and see if do anybody have any questions? I can't see you, but you can just talk. Okay. See trampoline videos, yes.
There's no questions in there.
Okay, comments. But these are good ideas in your thinking, and I like that.
You're sparking our creativity.
All right, so these are just some examples of what I mean when I say these are jobs online, and a little bit of examples of how people are using their skills on YouTube or Instagram pages. So this is just one example up here. This is one of the pages on YouTube. Every single thing in every single video on this YouTube page is all animation. So imagine you being somebody that's, you like making characters and you want to get better, and you can literally start a page just like this. And this is just their headline. I decided to screen grab it so you guys can see an example of that. But let's see, yeah. I made a little short link so you can actually type the short link in, or Shayna will see you guys this later. But this whole page is nothing but animated videos. So that is animating, that's editing, that's voiceover. All that is in this one channel. So imagine if you started it your own page, or if you were somebody else's animator. That's money right there. Like that, I look at this page and I see money. The page below is an animator using animations and creative edits on IG. Now we already know that they've created TikTok and Reels to try to, to get people into this whole, like, that's all they really care about right now. If you're doing Reels every day or 3-4 times a week and TikToks, that's what's driving everything on social media right now. That's how people are able to grow their pages, getting tens, thousands, and hundreds and millions of followers, all because of videos and they creative edits. Now, even though TikTok and Instagram has made it easier for people to do these edits, a lot of people just not gonna get it. They ain't gonna ever get it. It's just hard to do it. But what a lot of people don't know is what I recently started doing is you can actually make TikToks and make Reels using your Premiere Pro, right? Using your After Effects, and even using Canva. So even if you don't even know how to do none of that, and you can use Canva to make TikToks and Reels, as long as you got the aspect ratio, the size of the videos, you good to go. So this is just another example of a guy's page, and like people, so many millions of people follow him because they just love his edits. Whether those edits are, you making, like, I don't know, making stuff glow, or you making yourself 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, like that stuff is going to attract people to you. They're going to see your work. They're going to love your work. They're going to want to pay you for it. And then sometimes that can even get you, brands might want to do something for you. I've seen this girl on my Instagram page. She made a like soda pop, or I never call it soda pop. I don't even know I said that. But she made like a pop commercial literally in her dorm room with like a few whiteboards and like a spray bottle, because you got to make the can sweat. So you never know what you're doing online, how that is going to attract other people. Like, this is not 1999 no more. Nobody's getting discovered in the grocery store or walking through Walmart. They're discovering people online. And I say that because it's proof, because I had to search for dogs last week on Instagram to find a dog for a PetSmart video. We're not going, and then we got to see if they got a talent agent. It's like first social media and then see if they got a talent agent. When I was looking for hand models, Instagram first and then ask them who their agent is. Like, the stuff is online, and if you're not online showing people your skills and doing this stuff, then you're missing out. Like, you should always be doing something. So to the left is just an example of, just a quick example, because if I really was to do a search, it was even more. But this is just an example of some of the job postings that you would see just on regular job search sites like Indeed, where they need, look, junior video editor, a content creator. Like, most of these people that own these companies, they owe like 50 plus, 60 plus, whatever, they owe. And all they know how to do is basically make the money, but they don't know nothing about social media and doing the whole video stuff. And they need people like you all to do those things for you. So, editor skills for hire. So if you're probably wondering, like, okay, Deprina, you tell me all this, but like, how am I supposed to get money? Like, it's one thing to say get money, but how am I supposed to go out here and get it? So these are 3 popular resources, not only that you can use for your own, your own help, but you can also join it yourself. Fiverr.com, of course, some of you guys probably already know about that, but that is the most popular one. I have friends with businesses, and they always on Fiverr, either to make a logo, to make a video edit. Sometimes people want to pay you $10 just to be like, can you remove that chair out the background? They'll pay you $20 for it, just to remove something out of the picture, because they don't know how. So Fiverr is the top one. Even if you search on social media, you will see people literally have made thousands of dollars just by selling stuff on Fiverr. You can start it from anywhere. Like, I don't know if you guys can see the little prices, but it's like starting at $10, starting at $50. So you could put a starting price, but then when they actually click on your profile, right? They could see other things. Okay, start at $5 for this, but then $10 for this, $20 for that. You can make up your own prices. So it's no limit and it's no max. And then you get the reviews, and then next thing you know, everybody trying to get you. People per hour is another one. Again, I showed you an example. People beneath, cut out, edit, color grade, and restore 10 images. Like, people don't know how to do that simple stuff. And if y'all know how to do Photoshop, if y'all know how to do videos and remove stuff from the background or put stuff on a green screen, whatever it is, there you go. List your skills on people per hour. And of course, also Upwork. So I just showed you a screen grab of the different type of stuff. The different type of jobs that you can see on these type of websites. So it could be anywhere from graphic designing, you can see motion designers, animators, all that stuff. So these are all these skills that you all know. It's all part of the whole post-production process. So that is one way that you can find work with these main sites. So make sure y'all write that down right now. Okay, so go down my list on how to find customers. So you can find customers by word of mouth. Now, when I say word of mouth, I mean word of social media, right? You can comment under other business owners' videos. Oh, that's an awesome edit. You should check out my page. I could do X, Y, Z. Or you can always just, like, somebody else, you did edits. Let's say you did a few edits for somebody. Maybe that was your friend. And then you was like, okay, I did this edit for you. Can you post on Instagram and tag me and tell people? You can always do that type of word of mouth. If you do edits for somebody, tell them, look, shout me out on Instagram, and I'll give you $5 off next time. Like, you got to know how to sell yourself and then kind of throw in those discounts. But at the end of the day, this is serving two purposes. You're getting extra practice, but you also get money. Facebook groups. Facebook groups have been a wonder for me, because it's some stuff that I didn't know about when I first started doing this. I've been on social media before they called it social media. I'm talking Black Planet and Yahoo groups. Like, I've been on social media since 2001, okay? And I've been on here forever, and I still be finding out new stuff. And Facebook groups are a really good source. So you can easily just go on your Facebook page. I know a lot of young people don't be on Facebook no more, but Facebook is the place. Go there, search social media management groups, search graphic design groups, any of those type of keywords, search those groups and join those groups, right? Because those are where you're not only going to get resources, but sometimes you're going to get people that's like, I have a client that needs this done. I have somebody that needs this done. I'm in a few social media groups. I'm in social media groups where people have started a whole social media agencies, and they don't have no degree. Nobody's asking for your degree in your resume when you do this. They just want to see what you did online. They want to see your work. They want you to tell them what you can do for them at the end of the day. So Facebook groups are a really good resource. And then my other thing is the first hit for free. This one is a really good one. I always call it the first hit for free, because once you give somebody a little bit of something, like, they're going to try to do it themselves, but then they're going to give up real quick. And then next time they like, okay, well, you already gave me the first hit. Whatever you charging, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, they coming right back to you, and they're willing to pay you whatever they have to pay you to get whatever, get the job done. And Indeed, I just showed you guys how a lot of the jobs on Indeed looks. So you can definitely search Indeed, but also don't sleep on your LinkedIn pages, because LinkedIn is becoming really, well, it already became really big. But you definitely want to start being on your LinkedIn pages more, because that's where you can network. There's a lot of business owners on there, a lot of people that's like needing the skills that they don't have, and they definitely don't have time to re-enroll in some school and try to learn it on themselves. Like, if you're a business owner, you don't want to DIY everything. You have to delegate those small tasks to people, and you are that person that they can delegate that task to. So packaging your skills for future jobs. Now, you can do this for other people, or you can create your portfolio online. like using Behance. This is how you are discovered. So again, like I said earlier, you can start creating this stuff online just so you can showcase your work, but then you can also have it where you're doing this stuff for other people. So when they do ask, oh, can you give me an example of your work, whatever, and you can definitely direct them straight to your page, or you can say, oh, well, you know, showcase 1, 2, 3. You can look at her page. I did all her video edits. Like all this stuff that you do online becomes part of your portfolio, right? Post skills are perfected by consistently using those skills over time. And we all know that. And I always tell people this story that when we went on our LA trip, when I was in school, we went to the Sony studios and that guy set up in front of us like, yeah, I just was animating forever. That's how I got this job. And I never went to college. That's exactly what he said. But all he kept on saying was he kept on practicing the animation. And then that's how he ended up becoming an animator at Sony. Because at the end of the day, you know, they want to see the work. They want to know that you can do the work. You know, over time, that work gonna get better. It's not gonna matter if you got an A++ or not. At the end of the day, it's about what you can do and your work ethic, and you ain't lazy. So a good quote I always love is always be working. Always be working. There's always something to do. Even if you're watching TV and you bored, guess what? You're watching TV and you're getting ideas, or, oh, if I could be a social media manager for that show, what would I post? You know, if I could be a social media manager for that production company, what would I post? So everything you do every day should give you some type of idea of what you could do that can relate to your skills to make you some money. Knowing social media skills can come in handy if you ever need to do any type of behind the scenes shots for a shoot, or if you want to be a social media manager for a production company. So let's just say you do get a PA job or some type of internship, you know, and I've had this happen to me before. On my internship, they didn't know something about social media, and I had to tell them like, no, you want to probably post more videos than just pictures on social media, because that's how you can, you know, build up a social media page. So all these skills can always relate to a job that you could get in the future, and that could be your back door. Like the back door in the media world is, oh, let me do your social media. You know, $200 a week. I do, you know, 1 post a day. Like you can make up your own structure. So there's no minimum, there's no price range. You have to decide how much is your time worth. Earlier this year, while I was doing social media managing, I started consulting with people, and I was in groups where these girls like, I don't know what to post, and I'm confused what to post. And I charged a girl $50 to make a social media plan for her for 30 days. And it was easy. It was like, make a quote, make a meme, give me 3 facts about your business. You know, give me a slider, make a video doing this in the video. And I did it for 30 days and charged her $50 for that. And then I charged her $50 just to talk to her for an hour. So you can do any of this type of stuff. And remember, always get your money up front. Don't be one of those people that got to chase people down. So those are all really good ways that you can make money by using your skills. And so this is the last list. Let me see what time it is. Yes, I'm making good timing. Perfect. This is a resource list, and you guys are all going to get this. This is some of the resources that I use. I'm just going to go down them real quick. So Hubspot Academy. Hubspot is free. I love Hubspot. You can sign up for Hubspot, and they have everything on there. Right now, they have Instagram certifications. You can put those certificates on your LinkedIn page. They have just general social media training. They have marketing training. Like you don't have to re-enroll into school or make it a 3rd or 4th minor or major in school or something like that. All you got to do is get online and get these free resources and get the certificates. If you are, again, mostly everybody here is students, you probably know, but you probably don't know. But if you are a Syracuse University student, those LinkedIn courses is free. Just link your Syracuse account to LinkedIn, and you get all of LinkedIn courses for free. I tried to take all my LinkedIn learning courses as much as I could. They even will show you how to edit and animate, but LinkedIn Learning is a really good resource, and you get it free. YouTube, there's a link under this YouTube, this little YouTube highlight that I made especially just for you all. It's a list of videos where I got all of my tips from and all of my people I follow on YouTube to learn some of the stuff that I learned about social media, how to grow it, how to get followers, creating little short form content. Everything is under that link. If you are a New York resident, a lot of people don't know this. If you are a New York resident, all the courses on Coursera is free. That is a link that goes straight to the New York State website, and it shows you how to sign up. This is like a game changer right here because they want to re-educate people without having them go back to school. So you can literally take free Coursera courses, and they have everything on there, from business courses to social media to, I don't know, if you want to relearn English, like all the courses are on Coursera. The last three, Canva. I use Canva sometimes when I don't feel like, firing up the old Premiere Pro and dropping the video in and letting it render. I will make a 6-second video and just make it animate, because you can do that with Canva, and you can make real quick short videos, and you can make reels and graphics just right in Canva real quick when you don't want to really use the good stuff. Canva is the shortcut stuff, I call it. Giphy. People love Giphy. I feel like they can go with any brand, reaction, how I look after, taking, I don't know, such and such as meal prep, the look on your face when you found out, you can invest, $100 in Amazon, like those type of Giphies to show reactions. They always get a lot of likes or comments or shares online. You can make memes from them, anything like that. And then of course, Headliner. Headliner is my ultimate favorite one because this is how you can make content out of content. Like if somebody made a video, use the audiogram to make the audio talk on the screen, like the words pop up on the screen. If you want to use content from a podcast, Headliner, you could just take some snippets, and Headliner will allow you to turn that into a piece of content. So you can do it from quotes to storytelling, whatever the case may be. So that's your resource list. And I think, yes, that is it. Any questions, any comments, I can try to answer the best of my ability.
Yeah, I got one. How do you deal with contracts and payments, and how does that differ depending on the client you're dealing with?
Okay, so contracts and payments. So what you want to do is, and this is something that people Google, like no lie. You can Google a standard contract language and reword it to what's comfortable for you, right? And then you will also always put a paragraph in there about payment. Either you want to make 50% due before, or maybe, payment is due, first and the 15th of the month, right? If you're getting the real big companies and you have them sign a contract, that's how that's going to be. I did mine freelance for about 4 months, but now I'm on payroll. So I don't even write down my hours. She just paid me every 2 weeks because it's just automatic. So once you sign up that contract, you can also remind them, like, even if they're late on a payment, you never want to let them get too late. You can use stuff like Honeybook to kind of keep records of all your money coming in. And Honeybook, you can also set it up to send people invoices where they have 3 to 5 days that they need to pay that invoice. And you can always remind them, remember that contract you signed. So you need to give me that money. So yeah.
Awesome, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I have a question. How'd you go about finding your first client? Because I've tried, and most of the time I get rejected. So I don't know how you went about it.
You got to get it rejected 100 times before you say yes. And if I'm the queen of rejection, I'm gonna tell you, Because when that COVID happened, no lie, you remember me telling you, Shayna, I had so many jobs lined up. Like, I thought I was like, oh, shoot, I'm doing it. Like, I'm about to, soon as COVID hit, oh, we canceling internship, cancel. Then over the summertime, I'm getting interviews over the summertime. Oh, Deprina, we love your personality. This is so great. Then the email, oh, no, we're not. We're going to go with somebody more experienced because it's COVID and we don't have time to train you. Like I was going to work for a Bitcoin company, and the Bitcoin company was like, you don't know finance? Hold up. Can y'all hear me still? I got my phones connected to my computer. So, but yeah. So over time, like everybody was saying no, and that's when I decided to do this. So if you're having a hard time getting clients, do you have your own social media, Peter?
Yeah, but it's shaky.
That's your problem. You got to cancel the shakiness.
Mm-hmm.
Cancel, because if you can't maintain your own social media, how can anybody trust you to maintain theirs, right?
No, you're right.
Write out your own plan for your own social media. And when you know you can manage your own social media, then you will come in with a whole different set of words, 100% confident that you can do social media for somebody else. Look at this. I did reels for 5 days straight. My followers jumped from 200 to 500, right? That's going to attract somebody. You got to come through with the results. And if you're not doing your own social media like that, yeah, I'm going to reject you too. No, Peter, go back, come back. You get what I'm saying? So just keep trying, join those Facebook groups, right? Get around other people that's doing stuff like that, and you'll eventually get it, trust me. And you can always even do a volunteer one too. On LinkedIn, there's a lot of volunteer social media jobs that pop up on my timeline all the time. So definitely activate your LinkedIn too, because people will find you on there.
Great, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I also had a quick question. So you said at the beginning, like you were saying like consultant and stuff, and I kind of struggle with figuring out what to say, like what it is I do, because I like want to be a video editor, but I also know some like After Effects and like graphics, animation, and then obviously social media. And I feel like people think they're all different, but as we just talked about, they're kind of similar. So what do you normally lead with, I guess, is my question.
Okay, so like this whole presentation I did off the top of my head. So unfortunately, I'm not one of those people that have a hard time figuring out what to say, but I always go back to my journalism because my undergrad was journalism, right? Always start with the who, what, where, when, and why, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who are you? Explain who you are, right? You know, I'm this, what's, your degree, what you do, whatever the case may be, right? So who, what can you do for them, right? So I see this is how your social media page, this is what I can do for you. This is how I can help you. So figure out your who, your what, your where. I can post where? On your Instagram, on your Facebook. I can create a Instagram series. So I always stay with the who, what, where, when, and why. If you can write down your who, what, where, when, and why, next thing you know, it's been 45 minutes and it's almost time for them to pay. So trust me, write that who, what, where, when, and why. And when you can answer those questions, you're going to go with the flow and you're going to know exactly what to say. So that's always where you want to start. Don't ever worry about what I'm supposed to say to them, because once you start talking, stuff is going to pop up in your head too. You just want to make sure you can pinpoint what you can do for that person and how you can help them. And if, and you don't even have to make it where you're forcing them to pay or forcing them to use it. You can say something like, you can try to do this on your own, but it's going to take this much time. Or if you want me to teach you it, I can also teach you it for this amount of dollars per hour, right? So even if they don't want you to do it, they want you to teach them to do it. Either way, they got to pay. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Deprina, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you balance the whole full-time and freelance work while also keeping your brand, like your self-brand, consistently posting and whatnot?
Okay, so all my consistent posting on my own social media is something that I've already done. So because I'm not looking for no new clients, I really ain't posted on my social media in about a week. But I got so much stuff on there. I've been on Instagram since 2010, I think, 2011. I got so much stuff on there that nobody's really looking at, you know, my social media like, okay, I'm going to hire them. I have one client right now that pretty much drives me crazy, but I love her because she's from Detroit. So I got to show love, and she paid me good money. And because I'm not on like, oh, write down your hours this week, give me your time card. That's the only reason why I'm able to do what I do now, because I will pre-schedule some stuff out for a week and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna post it, but I already scheduled it and she don't even know, because she's just not one of those people that's about to be micromanaging me. She already know that I know. I've already adapted her voice, so I know how to do my captions like she would say it, right? And then I know how to use the professional voice on her LinkedIn pages. I know what she needs to say. So I'm able to manage it because I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, every morning. Unfortunately, I don't want to, but I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I start prepping out what are some video ideas that I want to do for her, right? And some snippets, some promos, what's something that sounds funny, right? And then my job at Condé Nast don't really start till about 9:30, right? And that ain't really, that's just me keeping up with a lot of back and forth emails and doing post calls and Zoom calls and making sure I'm getting my videos and I'm supposed to and animations when I want to, finding my DPs, finding crew. And so that's just back and forth. Like, to be honest, I do take a few naps during the day. It's not going to really speed up to the end of September. So I have it where it's perfectly like, okay, if I ain't doing nothing for Condé Nast, let me, look on some social media. Let me check out a video, right? Let me figure out something new to do, because I'm looking at my schedule like I'm working from 7 a.m. to about 8 or 9 p.m., right? And so whatever like I said before, always be working, always be doing something. So that's how I'm able to do it, just because I actually have a really good client. And sometimes I've heard this from some of my friends in my Facebook group. Sometimes you'll get those clients that's like, I want you to get, 100 followers a day. I want you to make sure I get 100 followers a week. Like, that type of stuff is impossible, right? And then they want to buy followers. You can't buy followers because that's going to mess up your algorithm, right? So you have to be somebody that is strong-willed and ready to speak up for yourself and like, look, social media growth takes time. You want to make sure that you also are showing up, because sometimes, like, the thing I struggle with my client, everything she does is just videos and just her being professional. But what people love the most is when a brand shows up as their authentic self online. You're not Target or Walmart. You're Melissa. I want to see Melissa come on and say, hey guys, I can't just make, graphics all day on your social media page. So sometimes social media managing can turn into you trying to encourage the business owner. Like, look, I need you to just get in front of the camera and say hi, or I need you to take a picture, because people want to know that you're a real woman. Maybe you go out on date night. Maybe you really do work out. I need a video of that. I need you to take a picture of that. So sometimes social media managing can turn into counseling too. And I do a lot of that, like a lot of it, and a lot of screen recording, showing people what to do. So yeah. Any other questions?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So I've heard that in regards to sort of specializing versus sort of being good at everything, I've heard that people say that if you try to be good at everything, you'll end up just being mediocre at everything. But from what you're saying, it sounds like it's a good idea to hone your skills in a lot of different areas. Like, I'm interested in, like video editing, visual effects, graphic design, and web design, for example. So would it be advantageous to sort of pursue all of those areas and know about them?
So I'm not going to get on my soapbox, but I technically have a full rant about this, because My whole time at Syracuse, that's all Scooney told me. Deprina, you can't do everything. Deprina, you can't be perfect at everything. But I kept trying. And at the end of the day, guess who ain't gonna ever be without a job? Me. So yes, you might want to focus and always have a niche, but at the end of the day, you know, are you not going to do something because, you know, you don't know how to do it? Like for me, because I kept on trying to make sure I know a little bit of everything, even the job I have now, they're putting me on all the podcasts now because I taught myself podcasting. I didn't learn that at Syracuse. I taught myself that as something extra, right? And so now it's working for me. So if staying in a certain niche works for you, that's fine. That's something that you're comfortable with. A lot of people can't handle a whole bunch of everything. But for me, I am trying to always be employed. I'm trying to be rich before I get 40. Like, I'm just saying, you got to have these big goals for yourself. And sometimes that takes you knowing more than one skill. Like, I always like to use this as an example, because my husband, he works at CBS and he works with a lot of older people. And these people don't know how to edit video. They don't know nothing about social media. And it keeps them from a lot of the changes that happen. Change is always going to happen at certain jobs. And if you can't adhere to those changes, you're going to be left in the dust. So in my opinion, learn what you feel comfortable with learning, all those extra pieces, because that means that you can apply. For example, you can apply for more than just a video editor job. You can apply for an animator job. You can apply to be a colorist, because at the end of the day, over time is what you're going to get better at. You know, you get better at it over time. Maybe you do know coloring, and maybe you don't know, you get in at the bottom somewhere and you get to be a colorist assistant. Guess what? Just because you knew a little bit of coloring, now next thing you know, you're going to be a pro in coloring. You know, maybe you know a little bit of editing. You apply for a job for editing and didn't even expect them to hire you. Now you an editor. Next thing you know, a few 6-7 months, you become a pro at editing. So I feel like it's okay to kind of diversify. We'll use that word. Diversify your skills to making sure that you're not broke. So, yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Okay, perfect.
I got one quick. So something I think I picked up in the conversation is that it seems like you should sort of work on your own stuff first and then use that kind of as a central hub to like outsource yourself to others. Is that kind of something you would endorse?
Yes, I would say that, just because it makes it easier for you to get it to the masses, because you could just drop a link and say, this is what I do on my social media now. You can see some of my edits here. You can see something I created here on my YouTube page, right? Because people always want to see something, right? So you can start on that ASAP. So even if you haven't started on it yet, and you don't really have anything on your social media yet, you can always say, I'm a video editor. If you need help with your video editing, let me show you that video you just posted. Let me show you how I could creatively edit it. First hit for free, remember? Take their video off their page, edit it to the creative way. See what I just did with your video? Now I can do this for all your videos for XYZ price. So there's always ways around it. Like it's never one way to do things. There's multiple ways to do things. You just gotta be creative to do it. Like I forgot to answer somebody's question. They asked me, how did I get into it? I got into the social media by the word of mouth. Like I said, I was a journalist, right? So I'm in that whole journalist world. And one of my friends is a journalist. She runs her own business where she produces news outlets. And she knows this woman that I work for now, right? Because she used to be the woman's video editor. But she was like, that lady got too much for me. Deprina, can you work for her? And that lady didn't ask for no proof. She didn't ask for nothing. She just was like, well, Nikki told me you know how to edit video. Nikki told me you always on social media. I want to hire you. Just like that. So.
All right.
Yep. So Patrick, get started. Get it started.
I will just add that I think some people don't think that their own social media is the way to do it. So try to find a client, like a friend that you feel like could have a better social media presence than you.
Exactly.
If you don't feel like you want to promote yourself, and then you'll, even if they're a friend, you're getting like real experience doing that. And then you can kind of like take yourself out of it so you don't feel so self-conscious about what you're creating.
Right. That's exactly true. Because a lot of times we have this imposter syndrome where we don't feel like we're great, but y'all are great. Like, I mean, y'all at Syracuse. So, I mean, y'all great. So yes, that is really good. You got plenty of friends. Even if you don't have friends that have social media, you can just find one person and, you know, do the stuff for them and say like, okay, they don't know that that's your friend, you know, but you could be like, this is a client. Like my first 2 people that I was showing people to when I was consulting over Zoom, they was my friends. And one was a hairstylist and my other friend does credit reporting. And I was like, yeah, so I consulted with her and these are the posts I helped her with. They don't know that was my friend and I only charged them like $20. So, but to them, it's like, oh, she do have clients. She did this before, whatever the case may be. So, yep, so true.
Cool. Well, I just want to thank Deprina for putting this all together.
Yep. And I put a little bit of my information in there because if anybody has any questions or want any help or want anything, need anything, you know, I sit consistently. I mean, y'all can't see it now, but y'all see this. I sit consistently in front of 3 computers all day. So if you email me, I will answer and I can help you out. So I'll put my information in the comments too. If anybody have any extra questions, maybe you couldn't think of now, or even if you want to know what some of those Facebook groups are, you can join those Facebook groups too, and I can send you some links. So
cool. So I will send all of this out in our recap email tomorrow, plus a video recording and all the links that were in her slideshow. So thank you again.
So thanks to Deprina, that was great.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was super helpful.